Okay, has this ever happened to you? You are doing something that you kind of hate and you want to change, but you're scared if you make a change, then the new thing won't work. And what you're doing right now isn't really working, but like at least you're doing something, right? Like you're checking a box, you're taking action, it feels good, you feel like you're doing something of value. Yeah, that is pretty much how I felt about my real estate business before the pandemic hit. And it's really weird to say, and I feel really guilty saying it, but the pandemic like changed my business and it changed my life. And like that's what we're getting into today. So real quick, I'm Tiffany Moore. I'm a real estate coach. I'm an active agent and broker and brokerage owner in Austin, Texas. And I help agents from all over the country build their business to six figures and beyond without doing the cheesy old school things like the cold calling and the door knocking and buying leads, without discounting your services, without working 60 hours a week, and without working with clients who just like don't value you, don't appreciate you, don't respect you. So if you're tired of that and you want the other thing, you want the six figures and beyond without doing the cheesy things, then you're in the right place. So let's get started for today. So before the pandemic hit, I was doing like open houses every weekend, at least 2, sometimes 3 open houses in the good neighborhoods. I was using the scripts. I had all the things, but I really hated them. Like I really hated doing open houses. I hated being away on the weekends. Like I didn't have a lot of time to spend with my husband, and that was like our only time together. And so I hated them. And so I wasn't really good at them. And I talk about this a lot of like, there are so many ways to build your business that it doesn't make any sense to do something that you hate, because number one, you're probably not going to do it consistently. If you hate something, you're not going to keep doing it. And number two, you're probably not going to be very good at it. Like if you hate something, it's really hard to get good at it and get passionate about it. So just a side note, don't do things that you hate because like you feel like you're supposed to. They're just not going to work. They're just not going to work. So I was doing open houses and I hated them and I wasn't good at them. And I literally got one client after doing open houses for an entire year. So then I was buying realtor.com leads and I was paying like a few $100s a month, and the lead would come in and I would like drop everything that I was doing to call and text and email them right away. And then I would follow up with them like 3 times a day for weeks. Because I had a broker tell me one time, like, you keep following up with them until either they die or you die. And I am a doer. Like, tell me what to do. I will do it. I'll be miserable, but I'm going to do it. And yeah, same as with the open houses. I got literally one client after spending like thousands and thousands of dollars on leads. And I would see friends every now and then, and I would just like hope that maybe secretly they were planning on buying a house soon and they wanted me to help. Or maybe they had a coworker who did or a friend who did, and they were just like, oh, you should go see my friend Tiffany. But really, I was miserable doing all of these things. I loved seeing friends, but I hated that I couldn't just like hang out with them and be myself. I hated that all of a sudden I was looking at them as like a paycheck or a source for leads or a prospect. And I just wanted to spend time with the people that I loved. Like it really sucked all the life and the joy out of everything, because suddenly I was thinking about business nonstop because I didn't have any. I really needed to make money. And then the pandemic happened and we couldn't leave the house. So I couldn't do open houses. I couldn't show, listings to leads. I couldn't meet with my friends. And my husband and I at the time, we were co-owners of a Muay Thai gym in Austin. And I spent an entire month saving that business. We pivoted to online classes and an online membership. We had people joining us from like other states and other countries. I was literally working 15 hours a day, making sure that that business didn't fail. And when we finally had a structure up and in place and things were finally like, okay, working, and we were making some money, I was like, okay, now it's time for me to focus on my real estate business. But what do I do? Like, what am I supposed to do? I really needed a way to generate business and then generate leads without seeing people in person. And in one of the many, free real estate Facebook groups that I was in, someone posted about a book that they were reading, and it was about YouTube for real estate agents. And I have nothing else to do, right? So I read the book and I loved it. And I started doing YouTube. I was like, okay, fine, this is it. I can do this, because what else am I going to do? Like, what else am I going to do right now? And what do I have to lose? Like, I could do this from my house. I didn't have to go anywhere. I could figure it out. Like, I had plenty of time. I had nothing but time. So might as well try and figure this out. And so the pandemic really gave me permission to stop doing all the things that I hated, because I wasn't allowed to do them anymore. and like, oh, what a shame, they weren't working for me anyway. And so I started writing videos and filming videos and editing and publishing them all on my own. I don't know if you can hear this. My doggie is like sleeping in the bed next to me, and she's having like little puppy dreams. So if you're hearing her like ruff, that's what's going on right now. So anyway, I started doing all of the videos and like writing them. And in the beginning, it was slow. Like it was pretty slow, but like I'm a runner. I'm a student of Muay Thai. I know the power of being consistent, even when you're not seeing results. And so I just kept going. I just kept making videos because literally what was the alternative? What else was I going to do? At least it was giving me something to do, and I just kept pumping him out. And slowly, people started reaching out to me. People who were moving to my city, in my area, friends who were thinking about moving and who saw my videos. And they're like, oh, wow, that's interesting. I didn't know that you did all this. I didn't know that you knew all of this stuff. I didn't really know what it was that you did. People think of real estate agents, and they're just like, oh, you open doors and you do this and that. It's like, oh, there's a lot more to it. There's a little bit more to it than that. And so making the videos really help people understand like, oh, I didn't realize you were so good at it. Like, yeah, thank you. I know what I'm doing. And later I realized like what was happening. People were watching my videos and figuring out if they liked me or not. And the ones who didn't like me, they just stopped watching, or they never reached out to me, or they found another agent that they liked better. And I never had to hear from them, versus like when you do cold calling and you call someone who like isn't vibing with you, doesn't like what you have to say, they're really rude to you. And they're really mean. And luckily I didn't have to deal with that, because if someone just like didn't like what I had to say, they would just stop watching. And they just move on to another agent's videos, which is totally fine. But the ones who did like me, they would reach out. And so the people who reached out to me were already sold on me. Like I never had to sell myself from anyone who reached out to me from YouTube, because they'd already like seen my videos. They'd already made up their minds if they liked me, if they wanted to work with me, if they vibed with me. And they were and still are like my very best clients. So the cool thing is that this is true whether you are doing YouTube or you're doing Instagram or LinkedIn or TikTok, or if you're doing in-person lead generation, like whatever you're doing, the same principles apply. You put out content, meaning you show up online, you show up to the meetings, you show up to the classes, you show up to the gatherings, whatever you're doing, you show up to like the group hang or the hike. You be yourself. Like you give people something to connect with you about. You let them see the real you. Like I have a lot of tattoos and I show them on my videos. I don't wear suits. I don't wear heels when I work. I'm pretty casual. And so I made sure to be really casual in my YouTube videos as well. Like I'm wearing a hoodie and a sweater today. It's actually like the first chilly day in Austin of the fall. And I was just going to wear my sweater, but like it's cold in my house. So I'm like, I have to wear this hoodie too. Because I want to be my real self. I want people to know who I am and what they can expect. Like when they work with me, I'm not going to be someone in the videos and show up as someone different in person. That's never going to work. Like that's not an integrity. That's not my character. I want people to know exactly what they're going to get when they reach out to me. So I was 100% myself in my videos, which is really important for any lead gen activities that you're going to do. So you have people calling you. They already know who you are, and they already know they want to work with you. And it's important to like show up in person as the person you were in your videos, in your TikToks, in your Instagram, when you're like meeting with someone, when you're like at your group meetup or your hike or whatever. It's important to be that same person in your social setting as you are in your business setting. The other part is having a process. Like it's really important to have a process and leading your people through it, because you are the expert here. You're the leader. You set the rules. You tell the people who want to work with you what the rules are, and they will follow them. And the people who don't want to, they are going to go work with someone else. And that is fine. It's totally okay. It really is. Like I promise you, there is enough business out there for all of us. All of us. And this is the system that I still use today and what I teach my students. So if you want some more tools on how to do this, on how to build your business to 6 figures and beyond, check out the link in the description if you're on YouTube, or in the show notes if you're on the podcast, wherever you're coming at me from. And if you're tired of doing things that you hate, but you don't really know what else you can be doing to get business as a real estate agent, Click the link below. I'm going to show you exactly what I did to get from making $13,000 a year to over $300,000 a year without doing the things that I hated, like the cold calling or buying leads or doing open houses. So like whatever it is you hate doing, I really want you to know that you don't have to do it anymore. So unless what you hate doing is like talking to people and helping people and being nice to people, like if that's the case, real estate is going to be really hard for you, and like any business, it's going to be really hard for you. But seriously, like if it wasn't for the pandemic, I wouldn't have gotten the external kick in the pants that I needed to make a change. And you can't wait for that. Like don't wait for another pandemic to make a change and to make the money that you want to make and live a life where you can like take a random Wednesday afternoon off and have tacos and margaritas, or go to the spa or just have a walk in the park or do whatever it is you want to do. The point is having options. The point is you getting to decide if you want to do those things. So don't wait for like the pandemic or tragedy to strike before you make your move. Click the link in the description, click the link in the show notes, or just DM me on Instagram. DM me the word mini, M-I-N-I, and I'll send this training right over to you, or just DM me and tell me that you watched this video. If you like this video, like it, subscribe to this channel, and let's build a real estate business together that makes you money and that lets you live the life that you wanted when you first became an agent in the first place. Until then, I will see you later.